Hello, welcome back to another piece of advice. It's been a bit since the last one. My apologies, I've been a bit busy, but very excited to get back into this one. And the topic surrounding this, as you will see, is around breakdowns or I guess emotional breakdowns, and how they can lead to breakthroughs. And I was just thinking about this the other day about mental breakdowns and emotional breakdowns, and particularly in my experience, emotional overflows, I guess, is another way you can put them. Every breakdown that I've had in my life that I can think of, every emotional breakdown has led to a breakthrough of some sort, whether it be immediately or as a result of such breakdown. It could be immediately, or it could somewhere down the line. Something positive has come from it. Down the line, even I've found success because of the breakdown, or I've found some sort of resolve. I guess, and this goes into that trust in time principle. I can't give you any amount of time that I can tell you to trust into, but that's the point. Time is not measurable in the sense of, I can tell you, look, trust in time, it could be a year or two till something is resolved, right? And it's the same thing with this here, but it's something to put your trust in, especially when you have emotional breakdowns and everything kind of crashes and everything comes to a halt. There is a breakthrough that is able to happen, that is going to happen afterwards. And personally, I want to talk about some breakdowns and emotional breakdowns I've had, and the direct breakthrough that's happened afterwards, or sometime down the line afterwards, because of this breakdown. It was almost like I needed that failure, that mistake, that emotional overflow for something good to happen, or for me to realize something about, or realize or change something about my life and my trajectory. The first one I was thinking of was, I guess, my suicide attempt in 2019. What that led to, I guess, a couple of months afterwards, was Path to Peace. It led to this. It led to a lot of personal revelations about myself, a positive trajectory change. And that was because I was at my complete lowest and attempted suicide. And it led to something like this, Path to Peace, which is aimed to help people just like myself. And then another, I guess, emotional breakdown was like, I had a job in 2019, and I lost it. I was fired from it, actually, it's a funny story, which I don't know if I can technically talk about it on here, but if you see me in person, I'll talk about it with you. It's a bit of a funny thing. I'm not even embarrassed about it, because I don't even think it was, because no one thinks it was a reasonable firing, but we'll talk about that another time. But yeah, I was fired from this job, which I really enjoyed, and it had its downsides, it had its good sides, obviously, just like anything. But what I've found since then is that I have had better employment since then. The place I went to after that is a testament to that, in terms of just the culture that's there, and how managers treat me, and all sorts of stuff, I guess. And yeah, the people there is amazing, and that came from me getting fired. It came from me in a really low point, because I really liked this job, and then it just kind of didn't go exactly how I wanted it to be. It's a more healthy employment that I'm in at the moment, and a more variety of employment. Like I did recently quit these two for other reasons, but I did learning support at a school, and I did tutoring, and then I got rid of them, although I really enjoyed the experience of doing those. Now I'm in doing before and after school care, and then I slash pub work at Highfields, which is a pub in Caringbah. But it's great. I get a good dynamic between the two, and it's good, healthy work environments, and it's one of those things that I look back at the job I got fired from. I love working there, right? But I realize now it wasn't always the healthiest environment to be involved with in terms of, work drinks and work related social outings. It didn't help me in because I was in such a vulnerable state. It kind of enabled some unhealthy behavior from myself. And then another one I'll talk about, at the beginning of 2019, I remember it very vividly. I just deferred from uni and didn't really know what I wanted to do at all. And I remember being so emotional because I was talking to mum and dad about it, and then my brother chimed in as well, and they were like, "Oh well, what are you going to do? You got to work. If you're not at uni, you got to work. You got to do this. You got to do that." And I love them, but it wasn't what I needed to hear at the time, and it just led to so much stress for me because I didn't have a direction. I didn't think about it in years. Like in school, really, because I had my sights set on other things, and when those things didn't go, I just didn't really have that, anymore. And that was a big breakdown I had. But coming out of that, I've taken, focused steps into multiple career paths that I'm very excited to. Like, I'm studying primary teaching at Notre Dame. I'm also looking to start a life coaching business because I'm studying life coaching diploma at the moment, and Path to Peace as well, which is something I really enjoy doing. So like mixing them two. And also with other things like kind of working at in childcare and working in before and after school care is something that I really enjoy. And then there's also working for a mental health organization, which is something that I'm actually working on at the moment to acquire. Hopefully we get there. But yeah, like in 2019, in the beginning, I didn't really have any like direction. I had no idea where I was going, right? But that breakdown led to just multiple breakthroughs in my career, in my direction, in my outlook on what I wanted to do. Additionally, with AFL, that was originally my dream. That was my dream, to play AFL for the Swannies. Like, I worked so hard, as a young kid to kind of do my best to get there, right? And I didn't think about any other occupation that I wanted to do besides AFL. That was the only one. I should have thought about something else along the way, but that's, wasn't really in my headspace. I was all about AFL. And so when AFL didn't work out for me to be a professional thing, I was in a stage of denial for a couple of years. And then coming out of that, I was in a state of just confusion and no direction at all. I was like, okay, well, what do I do now? Right. Leading from that, no, AFL has not become a professional sport in my life, but I have a more healthy relationship with the game. I was very stressed with it and very anxious. I did see someone about it as well. I saw a psychologist about, my anxiety with the game of AFL. Coming into it now, and the footy I'm playing now, I'm enjoying it so much, and it's a great challenge, and I'm with a great club, great bunch of blokes. And yes, it's not exactly what I wanted, but it's something even better. I think I like enjoy it so much, and it gives me something really great to work on outside of career and any work that I'm doing. I love it. I mean, I love being in touch with the game, and to be able to still be playing at a really competitive level and still working on my game, still improving, still playing with people that I enjoy to play with. That's the breakthrough right there for me. And I guess the last breakdown to breakthrough that I want to talk about is music. Due to my lack of confidence and self-esteem with my music, it led to just a lot of high motivation and then like low motivation for a couple of months. It would just kind of up and down. And this low self-confidence, this low self-esteem just push me back on this music that I've been working on for years. And I've finally, and this is the breakthrough, I'm finally releasing my first ever song. It seems weird that I'm saying this now because it's literally coming in 3 days. This podcast was not for that, but I felt it'd be good to mention it. But yeah, after all those breakdowns, due to that lack of confidence and self-esteem with my music, I've got my first ever song releasing on my birthday, 22nd of August, and I've got an EP in the works as well with the producer that I've been working with. Like, that's incredible. To me, that's incredible. Like, I didn't see myself getting to that point because I was so down on myself about this stuff and questioning everything and trying to be perfect about everything, right? But learning that I didn't have to be perfect with the music and that the process didn't have to be perfect. The process was much different than I thought it was. Here we are, got my first ever song, and we've got an EP that we're going to start as well. It's amazing. And I needed to go through those breakdowns to come to this breakthrough right now. And I'm still half about my music. You know, I still have my confidence issues, but I'm nowhere near where I was before. Like, I'm actually singing and belting and putting my heart into this stuff, and I'm just going with it instead of questioning, you know, every stage of the process. So with what I've kind of just opened up with then, I'm going to ask for you to do the same yourself if you're listening, whether it be an actual breakdown or even just something that didn't go your way, like a failure or a missed opportunity. Start to think about what has come from these failures and the missed opportunities. And you'll be surprised to realize how much good has come from the bad. It's a great lesson as you're moving forward to not get too caught up with the mistakes, the failures, breakdowns, because something positive almost always comes from it. And I can't give you a measure of time, but it almost always comes from it. It's like you have to go to that dark place to get to the bright one. You have to realize how hard the simple things are to get to, you know, work on those more hard and more difficult tasks. You know, another door opens, your perspective changes and it improves. You're much better prepared for future failures and mistakes. So share them with me. I'm really interested to know. It's going to help me, I know that. And it's going to help anyone who's listening, because I'm going to do a second episode about breakdowns equal breakthroughs, because I'm really interested to see what breakdowns you've had and what they've led to, what breakthroughs they've led to. You know, we can all learn from each other. It gives us a sense of, I guess, we're not alone in life, and other people struggle similarly and they catch breaks just like you, right? And you will catch these breaks in the future if you're kind of going through a rough patch at the moment. These experiences help. They help bring you, I guess, an even playing field. You know that you're not the only one who's going through it. And I guess even if you don't qualify as like successful or victorious or whatever by the societal standards, your voice matters just the same. It doesn't matter who you are. I don't care who you are, to be honest. Everyone has an experience to share. It's all worthy. Everyone has a worthy experience to share that's going to help someone, right? So yeah, on that note, thank you so much for listening and watching. I hope you found something from this. Breakdowns equal breakthroughs. Please remember that. I know I am trying to remember that whenever I'm going through some sort of breakdown or hardship, because I realize, remember that breakdown I had a couple of days ago or a couple of months ago, whatever it may be. It resolved. It was okay in the end. Man, I did that. So yeah, again, feel free to share your experiences with me and I will talk about them in the next episode. Hope you enjoyed. Please share it around if you think this is helpful to yourself and you think it might be beneficial to someone else. Hope you have a good day, and I'll see you in the next one.